Hi everyone, this is Denise Levy. I'm an artist and designer, and today I'm going to show you how to make this pumpkin card with this lovely country scene with hay bales in the background. So let's get started. I have all my pieces here, and I'm just going to kind of get organized and dry fit the pumpkins and the hay bales before I start putting all the layers together. I like to do this so the rest of the card goes together smoothly, and yeah, and it just kind of gets me organized. So we're going to work from back to front on this card. We're going to start with this very back layer, and the first thing I'm going to do is glue down this blue layer that creates those clouds. Those clouds are cut out. I'm showing you the glue I like to use, the Barely Art Precision craft glue. So I just put glue on the very bottom of that rectangle and get that lined up on the bottom and centered, and then I like to fold those flaps forward. That also just kind of moves that piece into place. And once I'm happy with that, then I will go ahead and get more glue there on the rest of that blue layer so it's all secure. Not sure what I was doing when it just was nothing going on there for a second, but anyway, okay, back into it. So I'm going to build this yellow layer that has the hay bales. I'm going to build it separate from the blue because I'm going to pop it up on pop dots, and I think it's easier to build this way, just flat. So I'm putting all of these hay bales together. They come together very easily. It's very simple. So the two hay bales are the same size and then one is smaller, so just make sure when you're dry fitting them and gluing them together that you are aware of that. So that very smallest hay bale goes down first, which you see me doing, and then there's a tiny little bump out that shows you where this next hay bale is going to go, and I'm actually going to pop that up using a couple foam adhesive circles just to give this a little bit more dimension and interest. And then I will just follow that little bump out. I know exactly where I want that little hay bale to go. And then this third hay bale, I'm just going to glue flat. You could pop that one up also if you wanted to. Then I'm going to use those same adhesive circles. Foam tape would probably have been easier, but I had this right handy, so I just went ahead and used these. I just like the look of this, popped up a little bit off of that sky layer. I'm going to line that up on the bottom there and the sides, and then once I'm happy, I will press that down, and then the back layer is almost finished. Forgot I had these cute little birds flying away, so I have weeded them, and now I'm using transfer tape to remove that off the backing paper with my burnisher. I like to do the front and the back, burnish both. Excuse me, and then I will get that down on the card. I don't show you exactly where to put these, but you can, just go back to the photo and the instruction sheet and kind of just, get it there in that little corner, and that should work out very nicely for you. I think these birds are just a really nice touch to the card. And you could also cut them out of cardstock. I have cut them out of cardstock. I just think vinyl is just a lot easier, but that is up to you. All right, now we're going to move on to this middle layer, and I'm going to get the fence glued down first, and then that grassy little hill area is going to go over the fence. I don't put glue on every single fence post. You can if you feel like you need to, but I think It'll be pretty secure. I'm going to get those lined up over on the left. Make sure that those, because those are the ones that really show. And then this grassy hill will go right over that. Make sure that's all squared up there. And once I'm happy with that, we will get the smaller of the two pumpkins put together. And I'm just checking the back there to make sure I got that lined up. Sometimes when you flip it over, you can see if the white is peeking through or not, and that helps you know if you've got it lined up. So this top layer of the pumpkin is going to glue to the brown layer that then creates the stem, and that prevents you from having to cut out a teeny tiny little stem. This middle layer of the pumpkin I'm going to pop up with foam adhesive. I like the way that looks with these little pumpkins I make. So the middle layer is just going to go center right on the darker layer of that pumpkin, and then I'm going to flat glue the stem and the lightest color right on top of that. And once I'm happy with that, we will get that adhered. Now, because I've got so many layers of cardstock, that little stem is kind of not have a lot of structure. Sorry, I'm dealing with a summer cold. I'm recording this in August, and it's just ridiculous to have a cold this time of year. Anyways, so the stem doesn't have a lot of structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these square foam adhesive squares, and I'm going to cut one almost in half, maybe a little less than half. And that just gives me a little sliver there of foam adhesive that I'm going to put there on the stem layer, the background layer. And then when I glue the pumpkin on that stem, it'll almost be like at the same level, if that makes sense. And so that'll give that little stem some structure, as you see there. And now that that middle layer is all done, and we will move on to the front layer. And this larger pumpkin is going to go together exactly as the smaller one. I popped up that center pumpkin layer with some foam adhesive, and I'm getting that centered on that darkest color. And I've already glued the lightest pumpkin layer over the brown layer to create that stem. And I'm also going to just put a little bit of a little sliver of that foam adhesive on the stem to give the stem on this larger pumpkin some more structure and support there, just like I did on the smaller one. And you will see me kind of fiddle with that. If you didn't want to mess with doing that with the stem, honestly, you could just with the scissors just snip that little white stem, the background stem layer off, and then you wouldn't have to fiddle with that. That is definitely an option, but if you have foam adhesive, this is pretty simple thing to do. You could also just kind of glue it flat onto that white layer, and that would be fine as well. Okay, so now I'm going to put this card together. I've got all my layers, so I'm going to fold these flaps, large flaps in, and then the little flaps in, large flaps up, and then the little flaps. This middle layer, I'm going to fold one flap forward and one flap backward, which I'm showing you there. And then we're going to start on that left flap. We're going to apply some glue, and I'm going to get that flap lined up with that crease there with that little tiny flap. So I'm going to get it lined up like that, and also making sure I have it lined up on the bottom. And when I'm happy with that, I will press that down. These cards come together very easily. Now I'm going to put glue on the other flap, on the right flap, and I'm just going to fold the larger flap over. And you see that now the middle layer is good to go. Now we just have to get this front layer on. We're going to put glue on the tiny left flap, and then this frame is just going to line up. Just make sure you have it lined up on the sides and the bottom there. And we will do the same to the other side. If you purchase this card for me, thank you so much for supporting my art. If you are interested in it, links as always are in my profile. And I sure do appreciate any likes and follows here on my YouTube channel. So now I'm just going to get that right side lined up, and then this card is done. It will collapse and fit very easily into an envelope made for a 5x7 card. I believe it's an A7 envelope. Thanks again for watching, and have a wonderful day.